Good morning, and check out this view. Doesn't that look nice? With our village on Venetian Bay Skycam, checking out the canal. What a lovely start to the day. And we're not seeing much in the way of rain. Starting to see maybe some development in the Gulf, but on shore we remain dry. Enjoy it, because that will not be the case all day long. We are going to be tracking scattered storms as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Right now, though, dry, but the humidity and the heat are really building in. 78 Lehigh Acres, right at 80 in Cape Coral, 80 also in Naples, so we're getting those 80s on the map. Feels like temperatures already in the mid-80s in Naples. We got a light east wind that will become southwest this afternoon and west. So that'll keep us a couple degrees cooler at the coast than it will be inland, but we can all expect 90s today. That's something to consider if you're going to be at the pool. You need to stay hydrated. Even if you're cooling off in the water, it's still really hot out there. 86 at 11 a.m., 90 at 3 o'clock, but we're going to see clouds on the increase with scattered storms building in. So remember lightning safety today when thunder roars heading doors. And there's more storms on that 7-day forecast. Full look coming up. Back to you, Morgan.
And welcome back to Wing News at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. And meteorologist Mary Mays joins us now. Mary, it's a hot one, and this seems to be the theme. We're finally in summer heat here.
Yeah, you know, this is the time of year where I sound like a broken record.
Right.
I'm like heat, humidity,
Right.
storms. It's, rainy season. We're going to see this for a few months, my friends. But it's not too bad. There's some perks to it, especially in the mornings when it's pretty nice. And that's what we saw this morning. And even going into the afternoon, Wing News Doppler radar is still pretty dry. We have a couple of drops in inland Hendry County, but that's about it. Getting a look at the future track, though, as we head into the afternoon, notice storms are developing, and I would say right around the drive home today could be a little bit difficult, especially if you're going along 75. So take it easy later on. Looks like a lot of activity around Collier County, but pretty much we could all see some rain and storm activity. Now, things start to change a little bit by tomorrow. Notice I've got future track stopped right here at 3:30 a.m. because we have some activity here. Over the next few days, we're going to see isolated storm activity overnight into the morning hours. And then as we head into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to see those storm chances shifting a little bit further inland. And you can see that pattern starting to take place tomorrow. It really gets going by Wednesday. So isolated morning and late night storms at the coast, and then the storm activity shifts inland by the afternoon. So that's what we're going to be looking at starting tomorrow, really getting going Wednesday through Friday. So it's going to be a little bit of a different pattern for us. Sanibel Harbor Marriott Skycam, look at all these people heading over the causeway. Great beach day despite the heat and humidity. Should be pretty nice out there. And looking at our village on Venetian Bay Skycam, oh, what a view. Always such a great view there. Temperatures mid and upper 80s, even hanging out at 90. Marco Island. Yeah, these are warm temperatures, but get a load of what happens when you factor in humidity. That's our feels like temperatures well into the mid and upper 90s, so stay cool out there. Today we're going to be in the mid 90s even inland, upper 80s, low 90s at the coast with scattered storms building in later on with a west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. The drive home today could be a little difficult for some of you, so take it easy. West wind 5 to 10 knots if you're boating. Gulf waves 2 feet or less, light chop in the bays. If you're thinking of jumping into the water to cool off, well, water temperature is 88 degrees. Now, we talk a lot about it being rainy season, yeah? Well, you know what? The cool thing about rainy season is it's also rainbow season. This is from Vicky. This was last night's sunset and rainbow. And basically, whenever you see a sunset during rainy season, if there's a storm around, what you need to do is look in the opposite direction of the sun. So the sun's going down in the west. You need to look toward the east, and that's where the rainbow will form. And it's going to be the opposite in the mornings. If there's morning rain, you need to look to the west for a rainbow. It's always in the opposite direction of the sun. That's what you need to keep in mind during rainbow season. Another view of that same rainbow. Thank you, Tanya, for posting. That's a symbol of hope from Island Walk, Naples. And yeah, what a gorgeous view. Also, here's a picture from this morning. I love Lake Okeechobee, and I love getting pictures of Lake Okeechobee. Thank you, Terry, for posting that Monday morning on the Big O. Your 7-day forecast, so we could talk a little bit more about this pattern change. And, after tomorrow, it really gets going. Notice we're saying scattered storms inland. So we wake up to mid-70s, high stay in the low 90s. The temperature story doesn't change that much, but the rain story does. So Wednesday, we're going to see potentially some rain in the morning, isolated along the coast, and then it pushes inland by the afternoon. So scattered storms inland, that trend will continue for the next few days. starting Wednesday. Over to you.
The common theme, scattered rain, it's hot.
We're going to put the forecast on repeat.
It really is,
You know, I don't know why I don't just record one forecast at the beginning of summer and just keep it going every day.
May as well.
You know, that would be so nice.
Well, it's a big deal here because we're moving into July 4th weekend. A lot of us
Yeah.
may be doing the cookouts and wondering how those rain chances are going to play out.
You know, when we head into July 4th, you are going to have scattered storms in the forecast, and you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out. I mean, you have to remember lightning safety this time of year, especially around the July 4th holiday. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more once we get to the 7-day forecast. Right now, I'm checking out Wink News Doppler radar, and for now, it is pretty quiet. We are seeing some indications here of storms developing east of Arcadia. We got a few lightning bolts. This is pushing a little bit closer to Lake Placid, so you'll probably be the first to get wet. Now notice the placement of this developing thunderstorm. It's pretty far inland, east of 75, and that is actually where we're going to see a lot of our storm development as we head into the afternoon. We're going to go ahead and check this out before we get a current look at current conditions. Future track showing scattered storms developing by 5 o'clock, and notice east of 75. I'm not going to completely rule out a shower storm a little bit further to the west, but I think our inland communities like LaBelle, Arcadia, Lake Placid, Immokalee, I think you're going to see the storms. In Clewiston, Moorhaven, you could be getting activity later on into the evening hours, 10 o'clock right here, and you can see still pretty stormy in a couple of areas east of 75. So keep that in mind. Now, coastal regions, you're not completely going to be rain-free over the next couple of days. Yes, our pattern has changed a little bit, but what you can expect if you're at the coast early in the morning till about the time you head to work, you can notice that there are a few areas of some isolated rain and storm activity. Those storm chances shift inland as we head into the afternoon and evening, and that pattern continues tomorrow and Friday, but then we're back to the usual as we head into the 3-day holiday weekend. Your forecast is, looking pretty nice if you're at the coast today, though. I will say later on, you might want to head this way. There's our Sanibel Harbor Marriott Skycam. You might want to go check out the sunset on the beach because it should be pretty dry there later on. Wink News Skycam downtown Fort Myers. We got a few cumulus clouds in the distance, but plenty of blue sky. And isn't this a gorgeous view? The canal at our Village on Venetian Bay Skycam, always looking pretty fantastic. Temperatures, yeah, we're getting pretty hot already. Most of us mid and upper 80s, but we already have some 90s on this map. 90 in Marco Island, 91 Port Charlotte. Right at 89 Lehigh Acres, 86 in Fort Myers. One thing that's important is the feels like temperature because, 80s when there's not a lot of humidity isn't too bad. Unfortunately, we have a lot of humidity. So it's feeling like mid and upper 90s, even triple digits. Feeling like triple digit heat, Sebring and Cape Coral. The rest of us feeling like the mid 90s, even though a lot of us are still in the 80s. Today, when temperatures climb into the low and mid 90s, it's going to feel like it's between 95 and 105. Scattered storms expected mainly inland with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. That lower wind, that lighter wind, making it pretty nice if you're going to be heading out on the boat. Southwest 5 to 10 knots. Gulf waves will be 2 feet or less. Light chop in the bays. Water temperature 88. So getting a look at the pattern today, tomorrow, into Friday. Scattered storms mainly inland, and you can see that right here again with future tracks. So keep that pattern in mind. Could see some isolated activity at the coast in the morning, but of course scattered inland is what we're expecting. High of 92 tomorrow and Friday. And then as we head into the 3-day weekend, back to our usual scattered storms pretty much anywhere. And they could happen a little bit before lunchtime or around lunchtime. I think the bulk of the activity will be in the afternoon and evening, and we'll keep it in the 90s as we head into July 4th. Over to you, Trace.
Judging by how much quieter it's gotten in our studios,
Yes.
I think the rain has maybe moved on from downtown Fort Myers at least.
It certainly has. We're just seeing a few clouds over downtown, but the heavy rain is gone. That doesn't mean it will be gone all evening. We are expecting some more development as we head into the rest of the afternoon, into the evening hours. You can kind of start to see some signs of that. Now, looking at Wink News Doppler radar, we are pretty dry at the coast now. The thunderstorm that was down over Fort Myers is now gone. Getting a closer look at some of what we're seeing develop right now, just west of Orange Tree on Bonita Beach Road, we do have some heavy rain, and this is kind of meandering, developing to the north, and this is a sign of what's to come. These are going to start to grow, potentially even start to see some lightning. Getting a look right now, you can see just south of Lake Placid, we do have a few heavy rain areas as well. So Doppler radar, not too exciting right now, but later on, we are going to see that development happen. Looking outside, here's our Week News Skycam, and those are the clouds I was just talking about. Still looking a little bit cloudy. It is pretty sunny there, though, in Naples with our Village on Venetian Bay sky cam. Blue sky looks gorgeous. Rain cooled 76 in Fort Myers. That's just cooler because of the rain. I will expect this temperature to go up in the next half hour or so. Light northeast wind there. Dew point still in the 70s, so it feels like temperatures are going to be up there, especially in areas like Immokalee, where it's in the 90s, 93 degrees. Let's get a closer look. It feels like 100 when you factor in that humidity. And of course, we do have a couple of other areas like Sebring and Palmdale feeling like the triple digits, but once it starts to rain, that will go down. This evening, 70s, mostly cloudy with scattered storms, a west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's talk about that development. So you can see around 5:30, we still have those areas of heavy rain inland, and then they continue to expand and potentially getting some heavy rain and lightning with this activity. And then by 7 o'clock, looking a lot more active, and it will continue into the evening hours. And we do still have some lingering thunderstorms by 10 o'clock. Now tomorrow morning should be pretty quiet, a mostly clear sky, humid. Could see a few rain areas as soon as 11, and then we've got scattered storms throughout the day tomorrow. So definitely want to be on the lookout for that. Certainly will need those umbrellas. Wake up weather, 75, mostly clear and humid with a light south wind. Your forecast as we head into the afternoon, we're going to see low and mid 90s inland, low 90s at the coast, a mix of sun and clouds and scattered storms building in with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Boating forecast, a southwest wind 5 to 10 knots, Gulf waves around a foot, smooth in the bays, water temperature 89 degrees. Scattered storms tomorrow as we head into your Thursday, though, and Friday. We're going to see our storms kind of shift in terms of coverage. Better chances will be inland for the afternoon and evening. That trend will continue through Friday as we head into the 3-day holiday weekend. July 4th, we're going to see scattered storms sticking around. High temperatures, low 90s, lows in the mid 70s. Back to you.